Hi, welcome back to bringing yoga into our daily lives. We're moving into our second limb, Niyama, but our third within the Niyamas, Tapas. Tapas is our inner wisdom combined with fiery passion that feeds our sense of purpose. We need passion and courage to burn away the impurities physically, mentally, and emotionally, essentially cultivating a sense of self-discipline in order to pave the way to our true greatness. Tapas can be making time to get on the mat to practice yoga, to meditate, or even self-practice. For some of us, this might be taking time to be still and observing the mind. For others, it will be working on strength and flexibility. With tapas, we have that inner aspect of wisdom that encourages us to practice even when we don't feel like it, even though we know how good it makes us feel. Making the decision to go to bed just a little earlier, to get up just a little earlier for self-practice. Having self-discipline in our eating habits, eating healthy foods, not drinking too much, so that we can feel as good as we can for practicing yoga. Tapas also means burning away the negative thought patterns and habits we often fall into. As we have the courage to practice consistently and the humility to admit when we have limitations and respect our limitations, we reap the reward of self-discipline, tapas. So moving into self-discipline. Today I brought in a ball for some of our poses. If you'd like to bring a ball, you're always welcome. Let's go ahead and find a place somewhere on the mat, whether we're sitting or standing. We're relaxing the shoulders, maybe even bringing the hands together, allowing them to rest right about the sacral area, allowing the thumbs to connect, closing the eyes and coming into our breath. So today with tapas, self-discipline, this is more into the region of our solar plexus. It is also within the sacral and within the root. As we find our foundation within the root, then we find movement within the sacral as we flow. As we find our ideas, our dreams, our hopes, our desires, then we move all the way up into the solar plexus, where we make action with these hopes, desires, dreams, where we find that self-confidence and that fortitude to move forward with action. So let's just take a few deep breaths here. And even taking a moment to draw in an intention for today. As we come into our intention, maybe it's an affirmation, we just allow each and every breath to bring in that intention through the body. And even feeling it through the pores of our skin, as it is the second lung of the body, as we breathe in and out through the skin, through the lungs, through the body. Now you can keep the eyes closed here as we have centered, or you can open them and allow them to affix to a particular object as we move into the sound of Ram for the solar plexus, which is above the navel and just below the sternum between the rib cage. So let's go ahead and inhale and exhale Ram, Ram. Let's go ahead and make a fist here. Bring it to the solar plexus. Bring the other hand wrapping around that fist. Let's go ahead and inhale to Ram again. Inhale to Ram. Starting to feel that vibration 2 more times. Inhale to Ram. Last one here. Inhale to Ram. Here, just take a nice few deep breaths as we continue to focus inward. Just allowing peace to move through the crown, all the way through the body, feeling that wonderful vibration that we've created, that peace we have brought in, that centeredness. And today, as we open the eyes, let's go ahead and exhale. If we were standing, let's bring it all the way back down to the glutes. Some of us may already be at the glutes. We're coming into our easy cross-legged style today. Remember, if you need any pillows or anything underneath the knees, maybe underneath the glutes to help lift you up, you're welcome to bring any props to make you comfortable and be able to align our spine. This is one of the most important things in yoga, is aligning and stacking the joints, aligning and stacking the spine, bringing breath through the body to open up those joints. Let's go ahead and start with inhaling, drawing shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, allow it to release back and down. Inhale, shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, releasing back and down. Inhale, shoulders up. We're going to hold at the top of the breath. Let's exhale, draw the chin into chest as we release the shoulders back and down. And while we have the chin into chest, let's take a moment. Bring the fingertips to the shoulders and try and press into the fingertips and draw up on both sides of the spine as we move all the way up into the occipital protuberance or into the occipital ridge right here, the base of the skull. Starting again low, shoulders drawing up on either side of the vertebrae. Just a little bit of a massage. You can start close to the vertebrae and then start to work out into the neck, shoulders and neck. And once you're done pressing all the way in, up, let's go ahead and do a little bit of tapasana, where we leave the hands relaxed. We're able to like karate the hands. My fingers are very relaxed. They're basically slapping against each other and giving a little bit of deportment here. So a little bit of rhythm. We just relax those fingers. We allow that to move all the way up. So we started the shoulders, we moved into the neck, all the way up to the base of the skull. Then we could do finger tapping here. So here we're doing finger tapping now. As we move back up, one more time, shoulders all the way back up. And then let's take and find the center here between the vertebrae and the skull, the occipital ridge right there. There's a very center where it kind of indents in. Let's bring a few fingers here, press in and up, and then start to lift our head to neutral. Now we really feel that indent right at center where the skull and vertebrae meet. Let's open those elbows as we bring the fingers up and in, lifting up now towards the crown of the head with those fingers as we press inward and up. We open the shoulders, the elbows. The shoulders are relaxed, the spine is stacked, our abs are tucked in. Let's go ahead and exhale and release the arms all the way down to our side. Let's start to open the legs so we find ourselves in a straddle position. As we find ourselves in a straddle position, knees can be soft, toes up towards the ceiling. We're sitting, maybe we need to press forward so that we can get onto our glute bones. You want to feel stability within the glutes here. So hinge yourself forward, press forward, then lift back up and feel those sitting bones ground right into the floor as we lift through the vertebrae and relax the shoulders. Let's inhale, bringing the arms up and over. Exhale, we're gonna bring one hand down to our hip, side, points the fingers that same direction, lateral flexion as we hinge at the elbow and reach the other arm over to that side. Let's inhale, lengthen back up through center, and exhale to the other side. Inhale, lengthen center, lateral flexion and straddle, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Let's inhale, lengthen all the way back up and over. And we're gonna exhale, bring our hands to our legs. Let's roll the shoulders back. I'm already hinging forward at the hips. I'm keeping a flat back, releasing my hands or arms down the legs as I allow the heart, the chest to move forward first, allowing the shoulders to roll back. I'm hinging at the hips, trying to allow the heart to move forward. Nice flat back, my abs are tucked in. I can hang on anywhere along these legs. So if we're not quite that low, we can hang out to inner thighs, we can hang out to the knees. As we move down to the ankles, maybe the toes. Let's just find our breath here as we inhale and exhale. One more deep breath here. And let's exhale, come all the way back up. As we come up, let's soften, bend the knees. We're gonna keep the knees pretty much out, but let's bring the soles of the feet together so we have a nice diamond shape. The diamond is the shape that's your legs are making. That means the heels are not close to the body for butterfly, but extended further away for diamond. Knees are still open here. We have soles of the feet. Let's gently rock back and forth as we reach slightly forward with a nice flat back, moving from one glute to the other. And then starting to set back tall, feeling those glute bones ground again as the knees open. Let's inhale, bring the arms up and over. Let's exhale, twist open to the side. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, twisting and opening to the other side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last set here. Inhale, lengthen forward and up. And exhale, twisting to that opposite side. Inhale, lengthening up. And exhale, release all the way down to the sides. Let's go ahead and interlace the fingers here. Bring the palms straight forward. As we have interlaced fingers extending from our shoulders. Abs start to tighten, lengthen through the spine. Press the soles of the feet together. Let's inhale, up and over. And exhale. Tighten those abs. Inhale. Feeling length in the body. Stability in the glutes and in those abs as we tighten and lengthen. Inhaling again. And let's exhale, chin into chest. Release the hands so that they're not facing upward anymore, but behind the back of the head as we open the elbows. Let's release elbows forward, down, chin into chest. Keep the back lengthened, abs tucked in, same posture. We're just moving through the neck as we inhale and open those elbows, bring the gaze up, chin lifts off the chest. Let's exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, open through the heart, chest, shoulders, arms. Bring that shining gaze up. Exhale, let's bring it back down. Inhale, open and expand. And exhale, let's release. Release the hands. We're going to move to one side or the other here as we come up to all fours. We're going to practice some sunbird pose. So we're going to do variations of sunbird as we come to all fours. Let's find joint alignment first. Maybe we have fists for wrists as we tuck in the thumb. We're going to inhale, keep the knee bent, use one leg, flatten, dorsiflex the foot, and lift up towards the ceiling. Knee now extends from the hip. As we exhale, we're going to bring that knee towards the chest, round like we would cat, chin in the chest, or forehead towards the knee. Let's inhale again, our version of sunbird. As we keep the knee bent, dorsiflex the foot, pressing up, lengthen through the body. Exhale, let's bring knee to the forehead. Inhale, lengthen up and out. And let's exhale, keep this position. Now for some of us to move into sunbird, the full sunbird, we can take the opposite hand to the leg that is lifted and grab around the ankle. As we grab around the ankle, let's try and keep that foot dorsiflexed. Maybe bring that shoulder rolling back and then lifting the foot, the leg. For some of us, we're not using that other arm. We're just letting the leg lift up towards the ceiling with a dorsiflexed foot. Knee extends from the hip. Let's go ahead and relax. Exhale. Releasing. Let's bring it all the way back into extended child's pose as we reach forward and release the forehead. Moving into that breath. Nice deep inhales and exhales. Bringing movement slowly back into the body. Let's start to move back up onto all fours. Whether we have spread out fingers, hands, or we're making fists for wrists. Let's start to move into the other leg. Dorsiflex the foot, extend hip, knee, lift the foot up towards the ceiling, tight abs. Let's exhale, knee towards the forehead like we move into cat, tucking those abs in. Let's inhale, lengthen back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, knee towards the forehead. Inhale, lifting towards the ceiling. Exhale, knee to forehead. Taking our time here. Inhale, lengthen back up and out. Now we can keep this position for sunbird. So some of us will be holding this position, breathing, focusing on the breath, focusing on the posture. Some of us can take that opposite hand, reach around for that ankle. As we get a hold of the ankle, keep the foot dorsiflexed, heel towards the glute. Roll that shoulder back to open up. Then press the foot again up towards the ceiling while keeping balance in our sunbird. And let's exhale, feeling that stretch even in the psoas there. Let's bring it all the way back down. Again, a nice deep breath. We're going to move back, this time wide-legged extended child's pose as we open through the knees. Bringing ourselves down. For some of us, it might be on the forearms and releasing the head. For some of us, it can be extended and releasing all the way down to our mat. Refocusing on the breath here. And let's exhale, coming all the way back up. Let's find all fours, find that alignment again within our joints. And if we do have spread fingers and palms open, let's try and find not all the weight just on the base of our hand, but pressing all the way through the knuckles, the fingers, trying to spread it out. Let's go ahead and inhale into our cow, drop the spine, look forward, shine the heart forward, tailbone up. Let's exhale, moving into cat, navel to spine, chin into chest, rounding all the way through the tailbone. Inhale, cow. Nice deep breaths here. Exhaling, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhaling, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. As we're in cat, inhaling and exhaling, we're going to come to our knees into camel. So let's tuck in those abs around through the back and start to stack our joints. Roll those shoulders back. So while we're in camel posture, if this at all is hard on the knees, make sure that we put pads under the knees. Make sure that we're hip width distance apart. We're going to actually come into our fire breath here. So let's stabilize through our knees. Let's stabilize through our abs here. Let's bring actually a hand over the abs or both hands over the abs. Noticing at first as we breathe in and out that our belly expands, moves forward, moves out, and as we exhale, we move back in and localize right in the abs here as we move, tucking in and lifting up through the vertebrae. So we're going to notice that breath for a minute with our hands. Feeling that expansion. Exhale, feeling that contraction, that drawing in. So now we're going to move this much faster for our fire breath today. We are engaging our solar plexus, our abs, our core today as we move through the 3 lower chakras. So let's start moving into our fire breath. At first, let's go ahead and move it in and out of the mouth. It's the easiest form to start with. So you can make an O shape with your mouth. We're just moving air fastly in and out. And the fast, most concentrated area is on the exhales we tuck in. So let's go ahead and start. Taking a moment now, hopefully you have a water close by. Let's go ahead and take a nice deep inhale and exhale again. Back in and out the nose. You might have dried the throat with that quick breath, but you notice the abs sucking in every time we contracted in that exhale and how fast it was. So now that we've done it through the mouth, we're going to bring it in and out the nose. Same experience. Let's focus on the breath. Focus on those exhales. So we don't need to worry so much about the inhales. Our belly naturally expands. But those exhales we're tucking in rapidly. So let's move back into that breath. Fire breath in and out the nose. Taking a break, take a nice deep inhale here, and exhale. Another deep breath, inhale, and exhale. One more time, deep breath, and exhale. We're gonna do it one more time for a third time. Moving back into that fire breath, hoping to feel that core activate and that fire that we're building in our abs. Let's go ahead and inhale again through the nose. Taking a nice deep breath here. And exhale. Let's take our hands and just shake it off for a moment. Shake the arms, shake the hands. Nice deep breaths in and out the nose. Slowing the breath again. Full belly breath. One more time. And exhale. Release the hands. We are coming into our camel's pose while we are here. Keeping that hip knee alignment, fist for wrist to the low back. Draw the shoulder blades back and down. Squeeze the elbows back as well. Lift through the heart. Lift the gaze. If your neck is not ready for this, bring that gaze forward. Still lift through the heart. Feeling that expansion with each and every breath. And maybe even starting to reach back while keeping the hip-knee alignment. You can start to come back. Make sure those glutes are squeezed tight. They help protect our low back. Make sure that we can breathe here. Nice deep breaths in and out of the nose. And let's exhale. Start to come back up. Use those abs. We're lifting back up. We're going to gently release, hinging our hips back, keeping that flat back for a moment. Inhale, bring the arms up and over. Let's exhale, palms together, hands to heart, twisting to one side, keeping length in the back. We're taking that elbow that is forward facing and bringing it in front of the opposite knee to that elbow. As we bring it in front of the knee, we press into the ground, we press into the palms, we stack our elbows as we start to stack our shoulders. We lengthen through the spine here, all the way through the crown of the head. Coming back into the breath. Let's exhale, slowly releasing, palms come back. Extended child's pose as we reach it out and release the forehead. Taking a nice deep inhale, gazing forward. And let's exhale, tucking those abs. Stack through the vertebrae as we lift back up. Draw the shoulders to the ears. Roll those shoulders all the way back and down. Inhale, lengthen through the arms, up and over. Exhale, palms together, hands to heart. Remember, if this hurts the knees at all, we're bringing a bunch of padding between the legs to lift us. So we might be lifted up here. We're still keeping that back flat as we twist. And maybe for some of us, if we are lifted mostly into more of a camel, we can use a block in front of that knee. Bring the elbow down, palms together. We're still twisting in a nice flat back, but my glutes are lifted here. So feel free to lift those glutes or bring a block behind the glutes and a block in front of that knee as we keep the back flat, stack the joints. So here there's a lot of props we can use for doing the same pose, getting the same amount of stretch, strength out of it. Coming back to that breath. And let's exhale. Slowly release again. Forward, extended child's pose as we reach it out. Let's inhale. We want to come up into our downward facing dog. So keep that reach. Draw back. Lift the glutes. Hip width distance apart. And let's walk it out here. So here we're bending, softening the knees. Flattening the back as we walk it out. And take a nice deep breath. Let's come up to the balls of the feet. Lift those heels. Exhale, release the heels close to the mat. Again, let's inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, heels back down towards the mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, heels ground into the mat. Let's walk our hands back to our toes. So as we walk our hands back to our toes, we find the weight into the soles of our feet. Soften those knees. Let's inhale, half back. Parallel with the floor. Exhale, reach out those arms into airplane. So extending those fingers back, palms face the floor, lifting those lengthened arms upward, keeping that flat back, soft knees, abs tight, length. Focus on the breath in airplane. And exhale, we're going to hinge back and turn it into chair pose. So watch the knees, don't surpass the toes, glutes, hips bend. Drawing back, keep that flat back, hands on knees. Roll those shoulders back and down. You don't have to have pressure here. I prefer that you don't, but if you have or need to put a little pressure into the knees, it's fine. Let's go ahead and start to move the hands to heart. And let's lengthen. As we hinge up, we're going to start to sweep the hands up and over. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half back. Exhale, hinge back into our chair pose. Find your arms where it's preferable for you. Let's start to hinge all the way up and over. Inhaling, reaching those arms. Exhale, bring the arms back and down. Interlace the fingers, coming into chest expansion here. Draw the hands back. Open through the shoulders, heart. Keep the abs tucked in. Hinge at the hips. Forward fold again. And then reach those arms, hands up off the back. Make sure the knees are micro bent. We're still breathing here. We're along with the ride with our body, taking each breath. Let's exhale again, sweep those arms. As we move back into our chair pose, reaching forward if we can, roll those shoulders back, check our toes. Finding that our toes, we can still see them. They might even be lifting as the heels are taking most of the weight here in our chair pose. Let's start to reach back up and over, inhaling. And exhale, palms together, hands to heart. As we come hands to heart, let's step 1 foot forward. Coming to our Anjaneyasana or our high lunge. So that means the heel and back is lifted. All toes point the same direction. We're still hip width distance apart with the legs. Our front knee is bent. Let's inhale, lengthen all the way up and over. Exhale, palms together, hands to heart. We're going to add a twist into this. So the leg that is in front, we are twisting that direction. We're twisting towards the leg in front. The elbow comes down either right on top of the knee or tucks to the lateral side of that knee to help you keep that posture as we lengthen through the back. Looking to that side, once again, stacking shoulders, elbows, palms together. And let's exhale, bring it back forward. As we come forward, we want to support the leg that is forward with maybe knuckles or fingers, but most of the weight's going to be in that front leg as we're taking our splits. So, starting to lift up the other heel, lengthening up and back as you bring the forehead closer to the knee, coming into our split position, our standing splits. Let's go ahead and exhale, soften, bend that knee, bring it back to hip width distance apart. Let's inhale, half back. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, palms together, hands to heart. We're going to step the opposite leg back. Coming back into Anjaneyasana, our high lunge. Remember, hip width distance. Front knee bent, toes point forward. As we lift that back heel, inhale, bring the arms up and over, finding balance. Exhale, palms together, hands to heart. Inhale here, roll the shoulders back and down. Stack the vertebrae, let's exhale, twist. We're twisting towards the leg that is forward. Elbows out, bring that elbow, front elbow, either stacking on top of that knee or on the lateral side where it helps support. Stack the elbows, lengthen the spine as we twist and we open. Again, a nice deep breath. Making sure not to lose balance. We're going to exhale, moving into our standing split. So once again, weight is into this front foot, knuckles or hands. We start to bring that other leg up, extending dorsiflexed with the heel lifting up as we bring the forehead closer to the knee. And let's exhale, soften that knee. Coming back forward, hip width distance apart. This time, inhale, monkey pose. Shine the gaze, heart forward. Soften through the knees, flatten the back. Let's exhale, forward fold. And reverse swan dive. Inhale, flatten the back, tighten those glutes, press through the soles of the feet, especially our heels right now, as we lift all the way up and over. And exhale, palms together, hands to heart. Coming back here for a moment to center. Let's open into a straddle pose. Taking nice deep breaths here. Remember, toes point forward for our straddle, heels behind the toes, opening through the legs, hands can be on hips. Let's keep those knees soft. Inhale, open through the heart, bring the gaze up, draw the elbows back, the scapulas back and down. Let's exhale, release that. As we release, hinge forward at the hips, let the heart lead. Take your time to slowly release all the way down. As we do, hands come down to the outside of the legs and just slowly move down. Take a few moments to relax and breathe easily here. Let's exhale. We're coming to one side. And again, through an exhale, we might bring ourselves through center all the way over to the other side. And exhale, coming back to center. As we have palms grounded, roll through the shoulders, flatten the back, soften those knees. Let's heel toe back in. Start to bring hip width distance apart, pressure into the heels, glutes tighten. Inhale, reverse swan dive as we lift up with a nice flat back. And exhale, palms come together, hands to heart. Okay, so using the ball for Warrior 3 can help us at times. So I'm going to move into Warrior 3 with the ball. You're welcome if you have a ball to use that. If not, there is blocks and other things. There is many modifications for our Warrior 3. So let's find our hip width distance apart. The ball's in front of us. And maybe bringing both hands on each side of the ball for a moment. Finding that we can put a little pressure into the ball, but we don't want to have our hands bent back. So on the sides of the ball is best to keep that length all the way through the wrist. Sides of the ball, fingers point down, little bit of pressure here. We find a flat back, our knees are already softened and hip width distance apart. We're already setting up for our Warrior 3. We actually want to bring most of the weight into our feet, not the arms. And then we're going to tilt to one side, start to dorsiflex that foot as we lengthen straight back behind us. Like we are making a capital T with our body. From heel to crown of head, nice flat back, while the other leg supports and stabilizes, rooted into the ground, finding our breath here. Let's exhale. We're going to bend that knee. We're going to go ahead and round the back and start to bring the knee towards the forehead. And then we're going to inhale and lengthen back out into that Warrior 3. Exhale. Let's bend that knee. We're finding that energy. We're finding that tapas, as well as balance. So just focusing on that breath, the posture, the balance. Let's extend back out. And exhale. As we bend, soften the knee this time. Let's bring it to hip width distance apart. Find stability in both feet. And maybe while we still have the hands on the ball here, we're starting to hinge back. Keep the flat back. We are moving into our chair pose. You can hang on to the ball. You can hang on to it while it's on the ground, or adding to this exercise would be to lengthen that ball straight out, opposing weight here as we bring the glutes back. Let's go and release that ball. And we're going to inhale, hinge up and over. And exhale, palms together, hands to heart. Releasing, relaxing. We're coming on to the other side. So let's inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, all the way to the side. Soften those knees. Hinge at the hips. Keep a nice flat back, coming back to our ball. Remember, most of the weight is into the legs for balance. Starting on the other side, we're lifting up through the heel, extending straight back, keeping that nice flat back, hips side to side, extending through the crown from the heel to crown of the head. Nice deep breaths. And let's start to exhale. We're moving into that exercise where we bend the knee, tuck in the abs, bring the forehead towards the knee. Still find that balance. Let's inhale, lengthen back out. Exhale, bending the knee, taking our time. Slow, controlled will help with balance. Inhale, lengthen back out. And exhale. Soften, bend that knee. And let's release back into hip width distance apart. And as we do, let's keep the heels grounded into the floor. Our knees are soft. We're gonna actually roll that ball forward. Or maybe we have the blocks here standing up. And we're gonna release the head between the arms. Either hands are on a ball, or hands can be on a block too. You're extending through the back. Taking nice deep breaths here. Those knees are soft. And let's exhale. We're gonna slowly come back up into half back. And as we come up into half back, our knees are soft. Then we're gonna bring it all the way back into our chair pose again. If you want to add to this chair pose, you can grab a hold of the ball and bring it forward or the block. Let's go ahead and release that. And inhale, lengthen up and over. Exhale, palms together, hands to heart. Found a great deal of balance today with our ball. So we're gonna find ourselves coming back down to the floor. So find your way to the mat, one side or the other. We're gonna make our way into downward facing dog. So maybe the back part of the mat, let's inhale, lengthen up and over. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half back here. Even shine the heart forward for our monkey pose. Roll the shoulders back. On exhale, forward fold. Let's walk the hands forward. Come all the way into our downward facing dog. And let's move into our plank pose. As we're in plank, stabilize for a moment. Draw those elbows in, moving through crocodile. Remember, bend the elbows, flat back, chin, heart, all the way down, pelvis. Releasing those legs, taking your choice, baby cobra or regular cobra. Either way, shoulders roll back, heart shines forward, lifting through the neck, gazing forward. Making sure that we're breathing here, checking in with the body. Let's exhale. Releasing down, we're coming up into our kneeling plank as we inhale and press through the palms. Exhale. Let's come into a comfortable child's pose of your choice. Start to make tortoise pose today. So let's come down to the glutes. Tortoise, I find that it's a difficult pose for me. Has a lot of flexibility in it. So let's open through the legs here. Finding almost a straddle, but we're bending. We're bending our knees, we're softening, we're even starting to bring the toes up. We're still on those glute bones. We're able to sit tall. Taking a nice deep breath, we're thinking of a flat back the entire time for our tortoise pose. So let's bring hands, palms facing down, the ground in front of us. Roll the shoulders back. Maybe start to extend through the legs a little bit more. Maybe open the legs a little bit more. We're bringing those hands so that the fingers are actually pointing out to the sides, because we want to start walking those hands out to the side so that our arms will extend as we move closer to our mat. So nice deep breath here. Exhale, let the heart lead forward, flatten through the back, and start to bring the arms underneath our legs. Some of us can come into the full pose and actually come all the way to the ground with chest, abs, and everything, and the legs extend and over the top of the arms as the arms extend out to the sides. For some of us, we're not quite there. We're bringing those hands as best we can under. We extend. If we feel like rounded shoulders, we're scrunched and this doesn't feel good, let's roll those shoulders back. Let's draw the heart forward. Let's come into the breath wherever we are within our tortoise pose. Nice deep breaths here, focusing on the breath, allowing the body to relax into the pose. Remember, we are comfortably coming deeper into our poses. We're not forcing it. Should always be somewhat comfortable, not forced. And let's gently exhale, coming out of our tortoise pose. Make sure it's nice and gentle, no pain here. Let's gently start to bring our feet together to hip width distance apart. We are coming back down to our backs. We are starting to get ready for Shavasana. We're not quite there. But if you'd like to grab a pen, a paper, pillows, or anything that you might have missed for your Shavasana, you're welcome to grab it. And let's go ahead and start to round through the back as we come all the way back into our mat, squeezing knees into the chest. Let's inhale, hanging onto the knees, pressing away. Keeping the back flat into the floor as we do this. Let's exhale again, knees to chest. Inhale, pressing away. Exhale, knees to chest. Inhale, lengthening away. Now we're going to move into big toe to hand pose while we're in incline pose. So let's go ahead and release the soles of the feet to the ground. Take one leg, extend all the way out, and allow that foot to be dorsiflexed in extension. Our back is flat, our other knee is bent. Let's bring that knee to our chest here, squeezing in tight. And then we're going to slowly start to bring the hands behind the leg. Let's lift the head, use those abs for a moment. Big toe to hand pose. We're taking the opposite arm, two peace fingers. Same arm, two peace fingers around the big toe. So the other arm can be just there. We're lifting up. We're going to slowly release back down. We're going to take this other arm and just open it out to the side. Palm faces up. We start to extend now through the other leg. Some of us may keep us bent knee. That is totally fine. The back is on the ground. We dorsiflex the other foot. The leg is pressing into the ground, and we start to open up as we keep the back flat on the floor and the other arm extended and already open. Nice deep breaths here. Big toe to hand pose in incline position. let's exhale and bring it back. Again, taking a moment, soften that knee, release. Let's bring hands wrapped around that knee, draw the knee into chest. And slowly release, sole the foot to the ground. We're moving on to the other side. Let's bring a bent knee, sole the foot into the ground. Extend now through the side that we just did. Extending, dorsiflex those toes, press the leg down into the ground. Take the other knee bent. We're gonna draw it into the chest. And then we're gonna slowly release that. As we release that, same hand to same leg. Drawing the knee in, let's bring the hands on the outside so we can grab a hold of the big toe while keeping ourselves on the ground. If we needed to get up to grab that big toe, it's totally fine. Just release back down once you have a hold of it. Then open up that opposite arm. It's okay if the knee is bent as long as our back and body is into the ground, flattening. Then we start to open up that leg, that arm to the side. Well, remember, our body stays grounded. The other arm is open. And just taking nice deep breaths here. And nice deep breath here. As we exhale, let's gently bring it back. As we start to release, once again, knee into chest, grab a hold, and slowly release. Sole the foot into the ground. Taking that other leg, let's bend the knee. Let's heel toe, making a wide stance here for the feet. So my knees are still bent, but I've heeled toe so that my feet are now at least shoulder width distance apart. Toes still point forward. My knees are still bent. Let's open the arms and just bring the palms facing upward. If you're not comfortable with palms facing upward, let's bring palms facing down. Whatever is comfortable for you. As we use windshield wiper legs, we're allowing the legs to move to one side. We're keeping our shoulders grounded and most of the torso, but allowing the hips to lift, allowing that twist within the back, especially the low back and into the legs, the glutes, the knees. Let's go ahead and move back through center, allowing now the knees to move to the other side. Remember, taking a few deep breaths. And again, back to center. We're going to use one breath to one movement now as we move to one side. And then lifting back up, moving to the other side. Again, lifting, moving windshield wiper knees to the other side. Lifting back up through center. And windshield wipering to the other side. Coming back to center. And let's exhale. Heel, toe, back to hip width distance apart. Take a moment to bring those knees into the chest. Lift your head, squeeze. Giving yourself a nice good hug as we gently move side to side, allowing the back to get a little bit of a massage here as it presses down into the floor. Let's go ahead and find stillness as we start to release the legs. We're finding our Shavasana pose here. Remember, it's up to you. Comfort is queen here. We want to be comfortable for meditation. So make sure that we're comfortable. You can sit, you can lie down, palms are open, we're relaxed. You can bring pillows for underneath the knees if we have any low back issues. If not, and we are comfortable, we can extend all the way down, open the legs, open the arms. Starting to shut the eyes and move back into our breath. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. And as our eyes are shut, we're starting to find that inner breath movement, that inner awareness. As we inhale, we exhale. Relaxing. Settling down. Focusing the mind. Let's settle into our root chakra at the base of the spine, bringing us our foundation, our security, and resting our fears, letting go. As we bring in a sense of stability, feeling safe, breathing in, breathing out. We find our rhythmic breath as we deepen. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. We then move our attention to our sacral chakra, below our navel, center of the pelvis. We find the flow of passion, goals, hopes, dreams, and desires. We let go of guilt. We let go of shame. We let go of fear as we begin to transform our goals, our dreams, our desires into reality, into action. As we ascend from our sacral chakra to above the navel, our solar plexus, we allow a few deep breaths here into the solar plexus. This governs our sense of self-confidence, our inner strength, our willpower, and our self-discipline. Tapas. Here we stoke the fire as we change and transform, stepping out of our comfort zone, where we can begin to grow and learn about ourselves. The lessons we learn from feeling challenges and fears are the ones that tend to have the biggest positive impact. Breathing in shame, breathing out shame, breathing in guilt, breathing out guilt, breathing in fear, breathing out fear. Continuing to let go with each and every breath. Starting to inhale transformation. Exhaling transformation. Inhaling passion. Exhaling passion. Inhaling courage. Exhaling courage. As we inhale from root, sacral, solar plexus, and then exhale, solar plexus, sacral, root. Breathing a steady, slow stream of energy through these chakras as we connect to our true self and this very present moment. Allowing the breath to bring an awakening into those lower chakras, to bring a connection, to bring us to peace. As we feel that inner connectivity, breath by breath. As we've taken time to connect to our 3 lower chakras, we bring our energy, our centeredness, right into the low dantian, our hara. This is just below the navel and deep within the pelvis. Taking a moment to breathe in and breathe out of the dantian. Bringing that centered feeling, that grounded feeling of peace, connection. As we find this balance, we start to become more aware of our surroundings, our body, our breath, the room we are in. We take deeper, more aware breaths here as we bring movement to our extremities, maybe squeezing hands, moving toes, maybe even taking that moment to stretch overhead, contracting the body, and then releasing. Knowing you're going to have a wonderful day today, we move to the side, knowing we can keep this peaceful energy with us, this self-discipline that we can strengthen through our body, through our mind. Let's press up. As we press away from the floor using arm strength, hands lifting us back up. Thank you for joining me for yoga today. Namaste. Have a wonderful day.